Hello YouTube gamers. So we are doing another deck build here for a historic Brawl deck using Ezuri, the Stalker of Spheres, who is all about proliferating. So we're going to try and build this as a poison counter deck essentially, and probably some planeswalkers and stuff in too, just because proliferate works really good with them. And see what kind of toxic creatures there are that are worth playing. We should put on not collected as well, because there's probably a bunch of stuff that are just commons and uncommons that I don't have from this set. What do I want for this deck? 1 mana, creature gets ++3, flying, and toxic 1 until end of turn. Oh, that's crappy. It doesn't seem like what this deck would do. This one seems good. I don't know, do I want to use a rare on it? Don't know. Doesn't actually have toxic. Interesting. Oh, it's not from this set. Alright, well, that seems like pretty good too. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to... I only have 1 rare to craft right now, and I'm pretty low on gold, so I don't think I'm going to be crafting new cards for this deck much. But these are definitely cards that probably would be good in it. So I don't know, maybe we won't end up doing the toxic thing as much. And that guy kind of sucks. If that wasn't 3 mana, I might like it. That one seems alright still. No, not very good. Also not good. Haste, but he's 5 mana. I think there are better things. Alright, we'll probably play that for the fun of it. I don't know how good it is, but... Alright, that seems reasonable. Just a 3 mana flyer that toxic and occasionally I'll proliferate with. Is that non-creature? Another battlefield. Another creature into the battlefield I get to proliferate. I mean, reasonable. Oh, that's all there is for toxic, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Probably not going to do that much of a toxic thing then, after all, because there just aren't that many good toxic cards, are there? Put it on top. Wow. Not even in hand. Terrible cards. Alright, so let's see what else does poison that isn't toxic necessarily. We'll still put some in the deck just because. Like this one seems good. Spell cost 2. Oh, it's okay, so it's basically divination that sometimes is far better. Maybe worth playing. Yeah. What's this do again? Oh, okay, it does give poison counters. So this looks like it's the extent. There's maybe 2 or 3 other cards that if I wanted to craft them, I would put in this deck. But so this is not definitely not going to actually be like a very toxic focused deck. Apparently, I'm actually surprised there's so few playable toxic cards. I'm glad for it, honestly, but a little surprised. All right, so what else do I want to do with proliferate? Definitely want to look at planeswalkers. See what planeswalkers we have available that will be worth playing. Narset's awesome. Even Ling is not bad. Pretty good with proliferating, I think. Maybe worthwhile with proliferating. It's a little too slow, probably. That one's not bad. I don't know if I want to play Master of Time. I'm not going to have a lot of... I find this guy's particularly good if you have a lot of graveyard activity, and this deck I don't think will. Try this guy. I don't know if he'll make the cut, but I think I'm going to be doing enough artifacts for him. Mordenkind's kind of generically good. So good. I like Eliwick. I might try and run it. Vivian's great. This probably good enough. I don't know how many Planeswalkers I want to run, but I'm just going to at least put down all the ones that I like right now, and then we'll decide. That. Sounds good. And this is another one that, if I have a lot of graveyard recursion, I like it a lot. Not sure this will for it. Basically, it's just a 4-mana regrowth most of the time. Yeah, we'll try a Tameo completed. Is this guy worth it? I mean, the +1 counter thing doubly works with Proliferate. I doubt it'll be good, but I'll try it maybe. At least consider it. So that's all I want to look at for Planeswalkers for now. And I guess we'll just look at creatures that do lots of +1/+1 counter things for the rest of it. And then it's just some like generically good spells. So let's just start looking through stuff. See what I like. Does this actually have counters on it? No, it doesn't actually put counters on it. That would have been kind of interesting. And Wizard class isn't bad, especially with the Alchemy version that makes the third one only 3 mana. Maybe that's playable. I don't know if this is a Brainstorm deck. Actually, maybe it is. I'll have a decent amount of searching land stuff, so Brainstorm will probably be good. Maybe I'll want to play with some protection spells, but now I got green. Green's going to have much better protection spells than blue generally does. There's 1 or 2 blue ones that might be worth playing, but that one probably isn't one of them. Another thought too is I maybe will go with like some of these cheap unblockable creatures and then use other ways to put counters on them with like planeswalkers and stuff. Maybe some spells that usually I wouldn't play but might be worth it in this deck. That might be a good way to go. Give me some early game threats. So just a generally good card, so is this. Maybe a Spectral Sailor. I want to play a Spell Pierce, that's maybe at least. Swan Song definitely. Wash Away for sure. This guy. Oh yeah. I don't think I want to go as far as playing unblockable auras, but a few of the unblockable creatures could be good. This guy does +1 counters, huh? Usually he's disappointing, but at least in Brawl. I don't think I want Brawl. Probably not Short Course. I don't think I'm going to have enough early game attacking for that to be good. Probably Oh, you want a counter spell. He's unblockable, right? Oh, you have to pay for it though. Nah. Can't be blocked except by spirits. But if you target him, so I can't do the +1 counter thing with him, he'll die, so that's no good. Probably want to play Disdainful Stroke. Thinking about going quite a few counter spells for this deck, because I don't think I'm going to have a ton of early game, so I'm going to want to counter my opponent's early game, and, you know, blue-green is very bad against aggro in the way that it doesn't really have good early game board wipes or anything. +1 counter. Maybe I'll play an Essence Capture. I often end up cutting that card, but in this deck it might have enough extra synergy to be worth playing. This guy gets counters too. I mean, he's probably not going to make the cut this and that brine, but I don't know. Because they're probably going to be better green creatures that do +1 counter things than them, but we'll see. This guy's... No, he doesn't. He's unblockable if I discard a card, but I don't think that's going to be good enough for this deck. Impulse, pretty good. Cantrip type spell that I might end up running. Probably run Joy Disruption, just kind of counted as a land, a tap land, but... Oh yeah, Ledger Shredder is definitely going to be at least decent, just because of the +1 counters thing. Don't know if I want Hermit for this deck. Yeah, let's play Negate. That guy. Oh, only if I have, yeah. Well, this could work with Proliferate stuff. I don't like playing the unblockable guys under certain circumstances. I just want to play the ones that are just unblockable, period. Like, maybe, but I don't know, for 2 mana. I'm not really going to do Merfolk synergy, so I don't think that's going to be good. I wonder if I could do like a Merfolk deck with this guy. I don't think I want to, but I guess it could work. I don't think I'm in the mood for doing a tribal deck though. I think I'm getting through most of what I want, like that are generically good cards for blue. Definitely want to run Townsend. I'm going to just see what else comes up for just counters. I guess I could play him just because he's unblockable himself. But once I start putting +1 counters on things and proliferating, then he just won't do anything. So on second thought, I'm probably not going to run him. Let's put a +1 counter on a thing. Saves something. Maybe I'll play that. I like the reality check. It's hard to use, but it's so good when you can get it off. Especially since I'm probably going to be playing with a decent amount of playing multiple lands a turn. Maybe. Steal other people's artifacts. Doesn't really work with proliferate specifically or anything, but still kind of good. Alright, now we're hitting 3 mana cards, which this guy can't block only if he attacks alone. Ventures into the dungeon. And I don't think he's quite gonna go in. Alright, let's just, before I forget, I know I wanted to row. Definitely want Burrow, I'm definitely going to want some of the mana ramp cards. Start putting things in that I know I want. Cultivate, probably Harrow. Arcane Signet. Chromatic, I guess. Mindstone. Probably do the cold thing too. I want to run Mana Dorks probably. Well, maybe that one too, but I don't know about that. That one for sure. Goose maybe, because it is a 1-drop. And I just want to look and see what. So if I just put counter, I wonder. It's going to bring up like counter spells and stuff too, but I think I might just filter out the creatures for this. Just see what creatures do counters, because I think that's mostly what I want to put in the rest of the deck for the most part. Maybe a few other spells that are good, but just want to see what creatures there are first. Probably not putting too many blue creatures. I wonder if this would be worth it. It's a pretty good card. You might be good too. Yeah, try and find a way to fit more things in here that give +1/+1 counters. Just not things that necessarily just come in with it. Well, he works with the commander. I wonder if Pelp Collector's worth it. I don't know. I don't think so. Probably gonna be doing more like ramping in the early game and trying to get big creatures out with lots of +1 counters getting proliferated in planeswalkers and stuff. Artifacts. It's actually not a bad card. Destiny Spinner is just really good. I don't know if I'll make the cut with it. This might even be good enough in this deck too with the proliferate stuff. I like that card. Never been able to find a particularly good use for it. This is a way of giving. Oh, it's +1 counters only on himself. I thought it went to others, huh? Only himself. I just find this card disappointing every time I play with it, so I'm just not even going to put it in. Oh, this guy'd be good. I don't know if these guys are quite worth it. The 2 mana give a counter guys. I don't think they're quite good enough, but almost. This guy who does a proliferate or gives a counter, but also can proliferate, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe this one's worth it. I don't really like this thing. I see a lot of people play with it, but oh yeah, this card's good. Scooz is good. I don't think I'll have enough Explore for that to be good. I remember when that was a powerhouse in Standard, though. That deck was so dumb. I might actually want to play this stupid Orrery for Lose. I'm not a big fan of the card in general, but in this deck it might be right. What if I do Fertility? I'm not a big fan of this card either, but with the proliferate stuff, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it? It's at least a consideration. Oh yeah, modified stuff too could be good in this deck. I haven't seen anything with modified synergy that I care about. Actually, I don't think I'm going to want. I'm not really going to go that many elves, most likely, so. Wait, what's this one do again? I don't think I'm going to do enough elemental synergy, probably. Nor enough enchantment synergy. This is probably good enough, though. Maybe. Yorbo. I'd like this card a lot more if he just had, like, I don't know, Trample or just something. That doesn't work. What's this Hydra? No. This guy seems good. He's got Vigilance and Trample and gets lots of counters with Proliferate and stuff. Toski's probably worth it. Is Renata worth it? It's only green creatures that enter with counters, never mind. I think I want Wicked Wolf. Oh, this is probably worth it, huh? Gives counters to everything. I think he's worth it. I don't think that's going to be good enough as a 5-drop. 5-drop slot's probably going to be somewhat limited, and I don't think that's going to make it. How many 6-drops do I want to try and put in this deck that aren't Planeswalkers? I don't think many is the answer. Probably do Vorinclex just because, stupid card. Maybe I'll put a Titan in too just because it's so good. And if I do enough ramp, I'll be able to get there pretty often with that. So yeah, I think I'm not going to put too many high drop spells in this deck because I was planning on playing a decent amount of the X drop creatures that come in with +1 counters and stuff. Jelly seems good. I don't know if I... What is this one? Yeah. That Voracious Heart is really good. Maybe I'll craft a Steelbane Hydra just because this is a generically good card too. I actually forgot this was even on... for some reason I thought this was a commander only card. I forgot this was actually on Arena. Maybe I'll do that one actually, it's kind of a fun one. Field Mystic will probably get played because it's just awesome and it makes people concede a lot. Which isn't always what I want, but sometimes I might. I actually like this guy quite a bit. I've run him in a few decks and he's actually been surprisingly decent. I don't know if he'll make the cut for this deck, but I want to at least put it in as a maybe. This guy's pretty sick too. He might even just be a better commander for this kind of deck, but I'm trying this guy instead, so I'm not even going to put it in the deck. Might put this in, maybe. Coma is just a kind of a win condition on its own. Crisis for sure. This one is flying. Yeah, probably won't make the cut though. I don't see many creatures with counters on them coming in that I want for this deck, but... Or artifact creatures, I should say. Maybe a Hangerback. Oh, Stoneclaw probably. Probably a Hangerback may make the cut. I mean, we're already at a point where we're going to cut like 30 plus cards because I still haven't even put in some of the other spells that I know I want in the deck, like Safekeeping. No, I still have filters on. Tameo Safekeeping is just amazing. Snakeskin Veil will probably go in this deck because it also does the counter. And Heroic Intervention is just good. And what else is another one? It's Titania's Blessing or something. No? Am I spelling it wrong? Damn it, I can't remember. It's called Blessing. I'm just going to look for this thing. Let's just look at green. 2 mana cards. I can't remember the damn name of it. It's a new one. But I do like it. I think it also gives a +1 counter, so it's extra good for this deck, probably. I thought it was like Titania's Blessing or something, but I don't remember. But I have a feeling my commander is going to get targeted a lot, so I want to have a good amount of protection spells to keep the commander alive for proliferating and all that. I also might want to run a little more, a few more mana dorks. I'm not sure yet though. Maybe I should put this in too. It's just shuts down some commanders. Lotus Cobra, yeah, definitely should have that. probably forgetting a bunch of things here, but that's okay. I actually like this card. Ram through is good. No. Oh, actually, no. Leveling up isn't counters, is it? It's just leveling up. You can't get like free levels off proliferate, so no, I'm not gonna do that. Might actually be worth running in this deck. And then that's basically the kind of creature removal we're going to have, so I didn't see the card I was thinking of. I thought it was a Tatiana or something or other, wasn't it? Why can't I remember the name of the stupid card? I think I know how I can find it, though. I'm just making sure I'm looking through here, not seeing anything else that I definitely should have in the deck in the... Alright, now we're hitting 3 drops, so alright, let's just see what I can do. Gives hexproof, so got all that stuff already. Gaia's Gift, okay, that's what it was. I thought it was Tatiana's something, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, puts a +1 counter and gives a reach, trample, hexproof, and indestructible. It does a lot for combat trick card. I like it a lot. Alright. I'm probably missing some things here that I should have, but kind of just start cutting cards. Actually, I got to do the land too. Let's get the land out of the way. So definitely want that. Want that, and that, and that. No, I'm not going to snow, so I'm going to want that. Snarl, maybe? Snarl's okay. Ghost is good. Main tower for sure. I like the grotto. Passage. Definitely want Field of Ruin, I think. Plaza. Wherever that is at. Might play a Karn's Bastion in this deck too, actually. Do I want to run these kind of things? I don't know, is there there's probably like one that I can play, right, that gets both. Ezuri Forest or Island, whatever. Let's do that. Which one was that? I think I do want to run one of those ones, the ones that are slightly better than Evolving Wilds. At least they're better if you can get all your colors. Yeah, that one. For sure. I don't think I'm gonna need that. Alright, actually Animal Sanctuary, do I have enough? Was it bird, cat, dog, goat, ox, and snake? I probably don't have much of those. 1 cat, 3 birds, 1 dog, no ox of course, and we even have 3 snakes. I don't know if that's what it'll end with, but it's probably still not quite enough. If my commander was hit by that, I would definitely run it, but since he's not. I'm wondering about running Blast Zone actually, because that works with the proliferate stuff too. That could be good. Okay. And now we want to look at just ones that probably run a Mystic Sanctuary. Already got Jawari. this. Seagate for sure. Look like Lair of the Hydra. Very rarely actually use it as a creature. Turn Timber's fine. Already got those right. Okay. So I'm gonna put these over into the land pile, cut down the land first, then see how many cuts we have to make out of the actual deck. I didn't mean to do that. That's probably not going to end up making the cut. Not going to have enough poison in here. Was there anything else? These like fluffy land things. Let's craft that one card. My last rare for the moment. But yeah, I think Steelbane Hydra, I forgot that that was even available on Brawl. Probably end up putting this in several decks. It's just such a strong card. Alright, so now we gotta figure out what we're cutting for land. Probably only need to run like 35-ish land in this deck because we have a decent amount of ramp and mana dorks and whatnot. I'm actually going to start separating the mana cards out of the deck so I know which ones, how many we have. Generally, I want to have somewhere between 40 and 45 like mana cards, I guess I should call it. I find that most of the time, even with the did you put up there? You didn't. Where the hell did you go? Did it pull it out of my deck? I'll get it in a second. I don't know what happened to it. Did it get put in this pile? I guess it just somehow removed it from my deck. You can already tell that's not going to make the cut. Signet. I don't know. I'm probably not going to need this either. Oh, I should also run things that let me play multiple land in a turn too. That's something I shouldn't forget. I definitely want that Incubation Druid. Yeah, I guess it just cut out for some reason. What happened there? He seems like he'll have pretty good synergy in this deck too. Alright, so do I have a Wayward Sword Tooth? Oh, I don't have one crafted. I thought I did. Okay. Dryad. Actually, I know what I can do. Just do I want a Azusa? Probably not, actually. Do I want this sword? Which I might. Definitely want Shadow Spear. That reminds me of that too. Why am I forgetting something? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. Alright, let's start cutting from the land here real quick. We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't even put all the fertilizer mana source. This is a mana source. Cultivate's a mana source. Hero's kind of a mana source. Nisu Shakes the Booty is also kind of a mana source. She's not mana. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, 13 alternate mana sources. That's a lot, although this one only kind of counts because it's 5 mana. So actually I'm just going to take her out of that list. So a dozen of those means I can definitely run right around 35 land, maybe even less, but I'm going to just go down to 35 land probably. So let's get rid of 1, 2. I think that'll put us at 35 land, but I'm going to count here and double check. I'll also change the artwork soon, but 10, 11, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Oh, okay, I have even more. So we can definitely cut 2 more of each. Alright, so I still have to cut another 33 cards out of the actual deck. I have a million 2-drops, although these X spells I'm going to actually put into the above 5-drop range, because that's most of the when I'm going to cast them. So I'm definitely going to be cutting some 2-drops, no doubt about that. Just not sure which ones yet. Yeah, I don't think that's actually going to work enough. So we can get rid of like probably the Fairy Vandal and this Brine guy like I thought I would. End up cutting them, at least for now. What's this one? Oh, yeah, that one's fine in a proliferating deck. Alright, let's start cutting off the top end a bit. Probably not too much. This is going to be kind of a get to the late game kind of deck, or start the late game and the mid game basically, but alright, I'll probably have to cut Eliwick. She's just fun and all, but I have too many things I gotta cut. I'm not gonna be able to keep it. I guess Roles can go. Cool card and all, but also one of the, I remember this Teferi has usually been underwhelming. I'm gonna cut him. And I like this one. So I really need to throw more value creatures in the deck if I'm going to play this guy. So I don't think this is going to quite be right for this deck. Not at 6 mana. I'm actually tempted to cut this Titan too. I like it a lot. And I don't know, maybe I do need it though. I don't have a ton of ways of killing artifacts and stuff, so because I'm not running those value creatures like Rex Sage and stuff, probably, but I don't know, that might still end up getting put in the deck. I don't know about this card either. I liked it in draft quite a bit. Yeah, this guy can get cut. Oran Reef, I don't know, I found this card mostly disappointing when I've played it. Just has such synergy with Proliferate though, I don't know. Maybe Muyon Link can come out. I guess this guy will probably come out. I mean, he can be really good, but sometimes when you're in top deck mode or something, he's just terrible, so. I think the Time Twist can go. I've already got a couple of 2-mana protection things that probably not even all going to stay necessarily. I think I might remove some of these like Infectious Bite type things. I like this one because it gives a poison counter, I guess, but maybe Nature's Way comes out. I still like Ram Through since it's an instant. I want to have a few ways to target removal creatures, but I'll probably cut out some of these counter spells too. Thieving Skydiver doesn't really need to be in here. And I think I'm not going to do this unblockable guys. I think most of the time that's just not going to really work that well. I don't think I want this many 1-drops in the deck. Oh, that's actually an X spell. An X spell that might actually just get cut. Actually, yeah, I don't think I like him enough. This one I really like. I like Ogre Jelly too. Maybe this guy isn't really good enough. He just pumps himself only. Yeah, he can come out. I don't think I'm going to do Spell Pierce either. Probably cut Wizard class. I don't see this deck drawing like tons and tons of cards. Though maybe I should run those enchantments that draw cards when my creatures hit people. I don't know if this has enough synergy for the deck either. I think she can get cut. The more I look at it, the more I think I'm going to cut this card. It's kind of cool, but I just don't think it's that good. Oh, I'm pretty good with 3 drops. I'm actually thinking about putting the Rex Sage in too. Yeah, I think I do want Rex Sage. It's just too much value. Where are you at? You can go back in. It also means maybe I can cut the Titan. Maybe. I don't know. I still like having both. I think I'll take out the Scythe Cat though. Can take out Impulse. Still like the Brainstorm, I think. Though that is a cuttable card. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I don't play this. It's just too slow. I have too many other Planeswalkers I want to do instead, probably. And this stupid Rex card is probably going to come out. Yeah. Might even be able to cut 1 or 2 more off of this too. Like, I don't know about this Ornithopter of Paradise, for example. I don't know, I really like Destiny Spinner, but it doesn't really... I don't think I need it in this deck. Kind of feel maybe like this too, but I don't have much in the way of good removal. I also might not need much removal if I can just overwhelm my opponent's board with big, huge +1 counter creatures. So yeah, I think I'm going to cut the transformation. There are some situations where it's not even good, so... I don't know, maybe I'll cut 1 more of these X creature spells. Getting close. How many creatures do I still have in the deck? I don't want to get too low on creatures either. I'm still pretty high on creatures. So. I do think I want to keep the sword in, although it does give me a little bit of non-bonus in a way. Pro green means that I can't use my protection spells on a creature that has the sword on it. But its abilities are pretty damn good. I played it in other decks and it's been pretty good. I think I'm going to try and keep it. If I get screwed too often by having that out with safekeeping and Snakeskin Veil and shit like that, then maybe I'll cut it later, but I think I'm going to keep it. Right, that's too good not to play. I really like Vivian. I'm going to try and keep that in too, but I don't know, maybe this is too slow. It's a fun card, but it's too slow. And I do think I want to... I think I do want to run at least, what's it called, Reconnaissance Mission. I think I want to run that as another card drop possibility. I don't know, maybe that reality ship comes out actually. I don't know. I kind of want to keep it, but again, it's a pretty slow card. Maybe I even cut this Chromatic Lantern. It's basically just a 3-mana mana rock most of the time. It's a 2-mana deck. It's not really that hard to get my color fixing on. I think I'm going to cut that. I think that's enough mana ramp cards and enough land. So 4 other cards. Kind of want to cut some 2-drops, I think. I just don't know which ones. Maybe I'll cut Disdainful. And I think I will cut the Brainstorm after all. I don't think I need this Kraken either. One more, huh? I think it's going to be the Essence Capture. Alright, I still feel like I'm missing some cards I should run in this deck. I don't know what they are off the top of my head though, so maybe it'll come to me as I play. But I think this is going to be the deck I'm going to try out here. So this will at least be the first version of the deck. The second version might have some changes to it. I will keep some notes about that here in a minute. But, you know, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And, you know, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. I will read them. And if you want to watch me play this deck, that will be in another video in my Historic Brawl challenges. So until next time, happy gaming.